Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Tristan Governor, and today we're going to be breaking down my cybersecurity awareness bot named Pierre. This is a console app that educates users about cybersecurity and the best practices they can use to an interactive chat interface. In this quick little video, we're going to be talking about the structure of the code, the techniques used for voice integration, formatting, as well as running it to show you that it actually works. So, when talking about the structure of this program, we'll see that we use one main method divided into 4 parts that tackle each and every aspect of this program. This is basically making it really easy to look at, manage, and understand. Why overcomplicate things? Simplicity is the way to go. Although we do use a helper method at the end, which helps us with cool typing effects and color. Alright? So the first aspect that we actually cater to here would be here, the voice greeting. It uses the system media sound player to play a WAV file greeting. This is a simple but effective way to add audio to a C# console app. Web apps have all the fun, but with console apps you really have to cater to things specifically, which is why we use audio files as well as what we're about to see next being ASCII art. Here we have this seemingly beautiful piece of ASCII art that we found on Google and made using a text generator, which we have referenced below, as well as a color scheme. You see, we use console foreground color to create a cyan color scheme. You will see a similar type of color scheme throughout this app. First, we change the color of what we're displaying, and then we display the actual right line containing this art here. But because we don't want the actual entire program to be the same color, we then reset it back to normal. As we go a bit lower into part 3 of this, we'll see the user greeting and the inputs. This is basically where we see the first instance of our typewrite method, which I will explain later, which is basically a cool typing effect where it asks the user its name as well as displays a fun little welcome message. And as you can see, our bot isn't giving quite the usual responses you would expect from a chatbot or an AI of that matter. It has personality. It says, like, look at the way it speaks. I mean, it speaks for itself, really. So here we ask for the user's names as well as have a while to validate if they just hit enter and don't actually input anything at all. We also have fun little things here to display in different colors and showcase the user's name that they enter and say, hey, come to think of me as your Mr. Miyagi of cybersecurity or something like that. I want it to be funny. Anyway, let's scroll a bit down, and when we look at the gist of our response system. So the brains of the operation, instead of a list, we opted to use a dictionary because after all, if you want to find out about something, what do? You open a dictionary and you look at its definition and gather a meaning and understanding of it from there, right? So in our dictionary, we have many keywords that pick up and generate the corresponding response. We have random responses because people love to listen to Easter eggs. So you could ask, how are you? Or what can I ask about you? Or funny stuff like who made you? Or remember me when the AI take over, and it'll respond to those. It will not just give you an error for having a personality. But obviously we have to get to work at some point, and we see here we tackle the cybersecurity topics and also give a simple and easy to understand response. Although there are very much aspects where the user will enter stuff that the bot does not understand, whether it's just random gibberish or he makes a typo or just asks about aspects of cybersecurity that the bot hasn't been pre-programmed to respond to. In the instance of an error like this, it will respond from this list, where we do use a list because we're not really using keywords and a definition linked to a keyword, which is why we're using a list, which is just a list of words that we can choose from at random when a user enters nonsense. As we scroll down and hopefully not skip directly to the bottom because my mouse is very weird, we'll see the main loop of the operation. So the conversation happens in this while loop where we basically prompt the user for their name and read an input. First, we check for an exit command right here, which basically will exit the application. It's not in the list nor the dictionary. It will completely exit and end the application. If it does exit, however, we will tell you a fun little message, and that's the end of that. But if it does not exit, then it checks for keywords. And based on what the user enters, either responds with a matched response or a fallback to an error. And obviously errors, I've made it show up in console foreground color red, whereas normal responses will be normal color white. And at the end, we see our typewrite method, which is basically adding a little bit of delay to the way each letter shows up, which makes it display in a cool little typewriter effect, which basically looks like this. So without any further ado, because my play button or run button is like weirdly placed behind my screen recording thing, let's display the app and show you that it works.
Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
Let's wait for this to finish typing out, and then I will show you first and foremost the fact that if you just enter your name normally, it will give you, well, this, an error message per se, to say you have to enter a name. So let me enter my name real quick. And then we'll see it respond with a fun little message in green, yeah. So I think the first aspect we should cater to is basically error response. So what if I enter random gibberish? That will happen. Or let's say I enter nothing at all. Something like this. Let's say I want to type ransomware, but because I can't type properly, I type it like this. It doesn't have any type of thing that can snap to a grid and figure out what you're trying to say. It will not pick up typos and tell you stuff like this. Again, with actual personality to make you feel more at ease when using the app. But enough jokes, let's actually use the app and see what's up. So the first question I'm going to use, I don't know why that slash is there. Well, let's keep it simple. Let's do who made you? And it responds with a funny comment like that. Other aspects will be ransomware. Let's do ransomware. Spelled correctly this time. And it gives you a little backdrop, explains simply and in a relatable way of what ransomware is and how you can attend to it, which is by constantly restoring stuff in your local backup so that even if stuff is captured, it will, like, obviously not be that much of a loss. You have backups. You don't have to pay the ransom. Let's talk about, let me just get the spelling for this real quick. Just to make sure I don't have typos in my own app. And again, he responds with personality. Social engineering is using physical and emotional and mental tactics to basically scam someone for information. So it really takes it into account and explains it really well, I feel. I use the notes that we had from last year's security to help me with this. And finally, let's keep it simple. Let's look at, let's do update. Let's ask it a question and show you that it actually works while in a sentence. And it tells you this. And finally, we shall exit, which will say this and then break the app. So that is my app, exactly 10 minutes. Thank you for listening, and my name is Tristan Galvinder, and goodbye.